A very good afternoon to everybody who's joined us today. Last week, we held the round one of Professor Carlo Fonseka Memorial Interbatch Debate Competition. And this week, we'll be holding round two. And we warmly welcome everyone here today. Since this is in memory of Professor Carlo Fonseka, I would like to give a briefing about him. Professor Carlo Fonseka was born in 1933. He was educated at St. Joseph's College, Colombo, and the Faculty of Medicine in Colombo. In 1991, he became the founder dean of Faculty of Medicine, University of California. He was a renowned physiology lecturer, a former president of SLMC, and he had contributed immensely to free education. Not only did he excel in the medical field, he was also a lyricist and a musician. He would have been very happy to see such an event organized in memory of him. Now, getting back to the debate, today the debate will be between batch 32nd and the students of SHS. And the topic for the debate will be the development of artificial intelligence will or will not help in the enhancement of existing living conditions of humankind. And also, just a small request, I see many enthusiastic students in the participant list. Last time we had a technical issue with regards to the chat in the chat box. So I encourage you to just tone down the chats. I know you guys are really enthusiastic, but since this is like an event and we need to hold it in a smoother way, so just tone it down a bit. Okay, and the proposition of will be batch 32nd and the opposition will be the students of speech and hearing sciences. Each speaker will be given 4 minutes to present their points, and the captain of both teams will each get 5 minutes for their rebuttal speech. And also there will be 30 seconds for the judges to put their marks for each speaker. Now, it's time to introduce the judges. Our judge number 1 for today will be Dr. Charminda Abesingha. He is a senior lecturer at the Department of International Studies, Faculty of Social Sciences, University of California. And the judge number 2 for today will be Dr. Pramodi Premasiri. She was the captain of the Muses College Senior Debating Team in 2012 and 2013. And judge number 3 for today is Miss Chintani Kumaradasa, and she was a past debater of Muses College and currently serves as a software engineer in Telco Solutions. We warmly welcome you all, and we thank you all very much for sparing your time to be with us today amidst your busy schedules. And now, without further ado, I would like to get back to the debate. So now I invite the proposition team captain, Mr. Kavinjit Piris, to introduce their team members.
Thank you very much, Angela. Okay. So I'm Kavinjit Piris, the captain of the sorry, can you see me? Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can't seem to see you, but we
there
can hear
seems to be
you.
an error popping up in my camera. So anyway, I'll proceed with the introduction.
Yes, yes.
So I'll be the captain of the proposition. I'm Kavinjit Piris, and our second speaker is Nilushi Karunanayaga, and the third speaker is Akil Nila, and the fourth speaker is Mahadi Siraj, and joining as the reserve speakers, we have Saduni Herath and Chamudi Vikramsingh.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was the proposition team captain, Mr. Kavinjit Piris. Now I invite our opposition captain, Ms. Safia Mohammed, to introduce your team members. Can you see us?
Yes, a very good evening. And I'm Safia Noor Mohammed, the captain of the opposing team. And the second speaker is Varnakula Raja Sivaharan. Third speaker is Jerome Clifton. And fourth speaker is Netra De Silva. And our reservists are Dulaksha Piris and Fatima Zeenat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Safia. That was the opposition captain of the speech and hearing science students. And without further ado, we'll move on to witness a really exciting debate, shall we? So now I invite once again the proposition captain, Mr. Kawintit Piris, to build your base and bring up your team.
Moderator, there seems to be a technical issue from my end in the camera. Shall I log out and come back once again?
Okay, so we'll give
Really
you.
sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Thank you. Thank you for telling us.
Okay, I believe I'm visible, right?
Yes, now you're visible and we can hear you properly as well.
Really sorry for the delay.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, are you ready? When you're ready, just tell me. And when the screen turns green, you can start. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes. Okay. So as soon as the screen starts green, you can start.
A very good evening to the honorable panel of judges, my dear opposition, the proposition, and the elite audience who are here today with us. Vivian Ming, an American theoretical neuroscientist and artificial intelligence expert, makes a really interesting statement regarding artificial intelligence. She says that artificial intelligence is and always will be what we make it, what we will allow it to become. And it is a tool and so cannot be morally good or bad. It's the way that we create, legislate, and use it that holds the power. So with that thought in mind, today at the proposition, we are talking in proposition of the notion that development of artificial intelligence will help enhance existing living conditions of humankind. So what is actually artificial intelligence? According to International Business Machine Corporation, which is a multinational technological institute, which you might have commonly known as IBM, artificial intelligence is defined as the science and engineering of making intelligent machines, especially intelligent computer programs. It is relevant to similar tasks of using computers to understand the human intelligence. But the interesting part is the AI does not have to confine itself to the methods that are biologically observable. So with that, we have clearly defined what is artificial intelligence. And the key word that we as the proposition see in this topic is the word help. So throughout this debate, what we must clearly keep in our mind is the linking words that bring together the two aspects of artificial intelligence and the living conditions is the word help. That is where it means. So throughout this debate, we cannot forget that we are not talking about the state where artificial intelligence operates by itself fully autonomously, but a state where, as it is suggested in the topic itself, helps. I would like to re-emphasize on it once again. Helps to enhance the factors that help increase the living conditions of humankind. So this is our basis, and this is what the basis of the debate is. So if you are talking about enhancing the living factors, we must definitely know what are the living factors and what are the determinants of living factors in deciding body. So according to Investopedia, which is one of the leading sources of the financial and geopolitical matters, summarizing a wide range of factors that determine the condition of living, it can be presented under 6 main subdivisions: healthcare, education, home and lifestyle, economy, security, and the environment. So throughout the debate, I myself and my colleagues will go through each and every one of these aspects and prove how artificial intelligence assisted methods have helped to enhance them, which will ultimately enhance the development of human living status as well. So taking an entrance, I'll be speaking on briefly on how healthcare service has been effectively affected and has been enhanced thanks to artificial intelligence. When it comes to healthcare, one of the most important things is, as you might have heard, prevention is better than cure. So in the early stages of identifying a condition, indeed plays a key role in healthcare sector. So AI is being already used to detect diseases such as cancers more accurately
in earlier stages. And according to the American Society on Cancer, it is discovered that 1 out of 2 women who undergo mammograms are falsely resulted to be falsely accused of having cancer, but when they are in such a state. So with the use of artificial intelligence, it has enabled to the review and translation of mammograms 30 times faster with a 99% of staggering accuracy. This is how well efficient the artificial intelligence has been in providing the basis for healthcare. And next, talking about the diagnostic aspect of healthcare as well. You might have heard, if you are interested in artificial intelligence, IBM's Watson for Health program. This program has created a vast amount of information that is freely available and accessible for the healthcare professionals to get an idea on what is possible, on what are the treatments all around the world at an exponential rate, unlike the capabilities of any human being. So throughout the debate, my second, third, and the fourth speakers will clearly go through the factors that I mentioned earlier and how they have been attained by artificial intelligence. So the factors are stable and the argument is constant. The development of artificial intelligence has, is, and will enhance the existing living conditions of humankind. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kavinjit Pires. That was the captain of the proposition team. And I would like to give around 30 seconds for the judges to make mark up their sheets. So if we could.
How was it?
Yes. And next up, we have the opposition captain, Ms. Safia Mohammed. Can you see the screen, Safia?
Yes.
The time card, yes. So your time will start as soon as the card turns green, and you can.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm here to build up my base argument for our team in favor to the topic the development of artificial intelligence will not help enhance existing living conditions of humankind. First, I'll start off by saying what is artificial intelligence? It refers to the ability of machines to perform cognitive functions which are normally associated with humans and can include learning, reasoning, problem solving, and sometimes also human behavior such as creativity. Now we'll see what is enhancement. It is an increase or improvement in quality, value, or extent. Now, individuals are experiencing a loss of control over their lives. Thomas Kader said there will be a great pressure on all members of our societies to live according to what the system will tell us is best for us to do and not to do. We are losing the autonomy to decide ourselves how we want to live ourselves, to choose diverse ways of doing things. And with more and more recommendations, rankings, and competitions through social pressure and control, we may risk a loss of individual fundamental freedoms that we have fought for in the last decades and centuries. If we search for a thing in Google and then browse YouTube, the homepage is filled with videos which is related to the thing which we searched in Google. So where is our privacy? Someone is watching us from a corner of the world. If any facility is given free of charge in this business world, then we should be alert that they need our personal data and they are spying on us. A large amount of data abuse is occurring due to this. Data use and surveillance in complex systems is designed for profit or for exercising power. Most artificial intelligence tools are and will be in the hands of companies striving for profit or governments striving for power. These systems are globally networked and not easy to regulate or rein in. The growth of artificial intelligence is the end of privacy. There are many examples for it. First one is deepfakes, which involves the use of AI techniques to craft or manipulate audio and visual content for these to appear authentic. Cyber criminals are employing machine learning to improve algorithms for guessing users' passwords and abusing AI to imitate human behavior. They are also weaponizing AI frameworks for hacking vulnerable hosts. Sophia, the robot, refused to answer to the questions when in interviews when asked about herself. Even the robot is having privacy these days, but human we don't have. Now AI-powered cameras are widely used. These in public places may one day automatically track someone's face and behavior to watch for anomalous actions. Our rights are under attack. The use of sophisticated systems by police and other public security officials is particularly troubling in a democratic society. Video surveillance has not been proven effective, but they are misused. Researchers have found fully 1 in 10 women were targeted for entirely voyeuristic reasons by this. Another major problem is reduction of individuals' cognitive, social, and survival skills is happening now. People's deepening dependence on machine-driven networks is ending their abilities to think for themselves, take action independent of automated systems, and interact effectively. Already existing wealth inequality is going to widen more as the investors of AI will take up the major share of the earnings. The gap between the rich and the poor will be widened. These are not just simple things to ignore and move ahead. If the problems are this much higher in the beginning of AI itself, we can't just imagine the future. No privacy, no security, no freedom. Just majority of humans are becoming slaves of a few people who have the power of AI. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Safia. And you all just heard the captains of the proposing and the opposing team build up their base and introduce their words of artificial intelligence and enhancing the living conditions of humankind. So we'll give a few minutes, not a few minutes, a few seconds for the judges to mark up their sheets. Next, we have the second speaker of the proposing team. Can you? The second speaker of the proposing team. Yes, we can see you. Can you hear us? And
Can you audible and visible?
Yes, we can hear you and see you. You can start when the time screen turns green. Okay, you can see it, right? Okay.
Good evening. So the development of AI has enhanced the living conditions. So before moving on to my points, I would like to first point out clearly that the opposition captain firstly brought out several examples, but there was no solid base that they proved that there had been no enhancement. So first of all, pointing out that they didn't have a solid base. Now I would be moving on to my points, and first of all, I will be discussing how the home and lifestyle improvements are done. First of all, imagine after a hectic day, you're going home and you're using the Google Maps in order to find your best route, and now you are going home and then all your lights are switched on and your unwanted lights will be switched off, and also your water will be heated for your bath. Sounds great. And that's because of AI technology. AI technology could help you to engage and have more leisure time or productive time by helping in certain tasks which could be assisted by the AI technology. As an example, the digital voice assistants such as Alexa could control the AI assisted tasks, and also it could respond to the individual in a method that it could be most valued by the user. And also, when talking about Google Maps and the travel apps using AI systems, it could help us to monitor the real traffic conditions and also the weather conditions, and it would let us know what is the best route to reach our destination, and therefore you can avoid the unwanted disruptions. This is going to help us in giving time to engage in more productive activities while minimizing the waste of time. And then moving on, how the behavioral improvements will be done when looking into systems that could control, and the knowledge of waste and energy management, energy consumption will play an important role even now and even in the future. So we know today we can identify smart buildings are existing, and also if these technologies could be applied in homes, you could have a much more environmentally friendly home. So the decision trees, the random forest, the deep learning are some of these machine learning techniques, models which have been used in AI technologies. This could help an individual as well as the entire community. And also then moving on, how AI technology will help us to improve what we have been doing throughout our lives. As an example, the gastronomical learning has been improved in AI technology. Therefore, today, Plant Jama and Cheflings companies are two companies which are going to help people create delicious food out of what the ingredients that they already have. And also, while they are improving what we have been doing, it's also helping us to maintain and improve our health. It will proactively help us manage our lifestyle in a healthier manner. As an example, the most common Apple Watch that we all know, and also not limiting from that point, companies like Giant and Medicopad utilize the AI technology in order to look after the elderly as well as the chronic patients. And also now we can identify how AI technology had helped in developing the home and lifestyle. Then moving on to learning and development, when it comes to learning, technology, AI technology can be incorporated because the most efficient method of education would be personalization. It would help us to engage in, it would encourage us to engage, and also it would help in the time management. It will deliver and uncover whatever the gaps using AI technologies, AI systems that are now being used, such as four-level Kirkpatrick evaluation. And also when we look into the Cloud Vision API presented by Google, we can identify that they have been helping to distinguish the context and create the textual versions for an image. This is going to help in education. And also when it comes to companies, they can help whatever the workers to engage in learning with the workflow, which is going to improve the ROI growing of the company, and also they would get a positive return for their learning investments. So therefore, we can clearly identify when it comes to home and lifestyle, learning, education, all these things are supporting, and also that would help the community's enhancement of their lifestyle. Thank you very much.
And that was the second speaker of the proposing team, Ms. Nilushi Karunanayaka, who spoke about Google Maps and improving the living conditions of today. So next up, we have the second speaker of the opposing team, and let's see what she has to say. Can you see her? Can you see the time card?
Can you guys hear me and see me well?
Yes, we can hear you and see you. Yes, so as soon as the time card turns green, you can start.
Yeah.
Were you not able to see the time card? It said break the siren.
No,
Can
I
you
couldn't
see?
see.
Can you see it now? If you slide it, maybe just. Can you see it now? It's blue.
Just give me a second, please.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can
Can
go.
you see the time card now? It's blue now. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay, so if when it turns green, you can start, okay? Okay, all right.
So very good evening, everyone. See, I'm here, Shiva. Firstly, I wanna reply to the proposing team's second speaker. She said very well about taking care of elders, and she talked about Alexa and those things. And I want to say some things to her. And also, she talked about the education system and how the AI helps. Actually, the AI system and the technologies are feeding more and more data into students' mind rather than giving real knowledge and wisdom. That is the biggest fault in that. And she was talking about Alexa. Do you really know there's a funny complaint from the users that Alexa is laughing at random moments at night and panicking the users? And there's she talked about the elders. I want to reply to that. Human interaction is much needed to the society. When it comes to AI, when the interaction with AI and the humans increases, the human interaction is getting decreased more and more, leading to isolated society and isolated individual system. That is not an enhancement to the humankind. Hope you understand it. And okay, let me come to my points. First, everyone know Jack Ma. He said you can train robots to do all kind of works, but robots can't never have the heart of humans, he said. And I am saying that human life is not just one and zeros to be defined by robots, and we can't let the fate of humankind's enhancement to the robots, which never can't understand human feelings. The nature, the greatest artist, developed human mind and human biological things for millions of years. And yet humans are doing crimes and terrorism and bomb blast and all kind of stuff. So the nature, the greatest artist created the human intelligence, and humans created an artificial intelligence. If the nature's intelligence is doing something wrong, what about the AI developed by humans? It will definitely go to the wrong side. Okay, let me come to the story. Humans are humans because they have humanity, they have hunger, they have thirsty, they have biological needs and other things. If an AI without nothing, how can it be an enhancement, and how can it bring life to the human race? So that is my point. And let me tell you a few of the examples where AI went wrong. There was a car accident, and the famous reporter was killed in 2013 by hacking into his car AI system by the CIA of America. That is done for talking against Obama and his administration. There is another thing I want to tell you. Janelle Shane, she's a famous AI researcher. She said the problem with AI is it will only do what we say to do. It won't do anything more. It can't think more than humans. So that is the thing. And I want to say about a famous thing and a quite funny thing. There are Vladimir and Estragon, two Google Home Assistant system, were set to debate, and debate continued for several days, and both Google Assistant system ended up in the same decision, like world without humans will be better. Really, do we need this artificial intelligence created by humans saying that the world without humans will be good? Seriously, that will be a fault, right? So, and let me tell you another example. So when you see about the Netflix, Facebook, and all of the Google products, you can simply see, like my captain said, that your data are collected and you are more fed into the same thing again and again. Okay, then I'm finishing my argument by saying human life is not just one and zeros to be enhanced and to let in the hands of robots. Thank you for the chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Siva, the second speaker of the team, who spoke about many examples and many famous people, Jack Ma, Obama, and presented his points and arguments. Now, let's see what the proposing team, this third speaker, has to say. Akhil, can you, the third speaker? Yes. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen. Can you all see me and hear me?
Yeah, we can see you and hear you. So you can start as soon as the screen turns green, okay? Are you ready?
Just give me a second.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm ready. Good afternoon, everybody. Before we actually get into the vacuous arguments brought in by the opposition, let me show you the positive impacts that AI has had on the environment. AI has enabled us to implement 93% of the sustainable development goals of the environment laid down by the United Nations. AI has a pivotal role to play in the fight against environmental pollution, ranging from global warming to clean air to even weather and disaster resilience. AI, coupled together with climate change science, used as an entirely new field referred to as climate informatics, which can actually learn and accurately predict weather patterns that contribute to the study of large-scale climate changes across the globe, thereby enabling researchers to build accurate climate models that are being used by intergovernmental agencies in the fight against climate change. Not just that, if I was to elaborate on a single rudimentary AI-based program that has been designed for the environment by Microsoft, that is AI for Earth. This program can prototype deforestation and risk and prevent future losses. This has the ability to develop software on its own that can analyze heat patterns by pairing thermal cameras with machine learning. And our opposition thinks AI can't think. How unfortunate. Not just that, if you were to move on to Uganda, which is one of the poorest countries in the world, this country, despite being that poor, has successfully managed to almost completely eradicate air pollution from its capital city using AI-based technologies. They implemented the AQO project, which actually uses cloud-based AI software systems to analyze particle data in real time, therefore drastically reducing pollution. Right now, this system is in operation on a very small scale. But one day when this technology goes mainstream, and I quote the project engineers on this, one day this technology will reduce pollution on streets across the globe so that this generation and generations to follow will know what it means to breathe clean, fresh air thanks to artificial intelligence. But AI does not stop with that. No. It goes on further. It plays a pivotal role in the fight against human trafficking. Every single year, millions of women and children are trafficked. And organizations like Delta 8.7, together with Alan Turing Institute and the United Nations, makes use of AI's ability to spot never before seen patterns and computational sciences to catch traffickers in the act. And I like to quote the Forbes magazine on this, which goes on to say, human life is sacred, invaluable, and must be protected. From preventing life-threatening traffic accidents to saving the victims of human trafficking, AI is giving humans a greater chance at safer and happy lives. Not just that, this security actually extends into the realm of cyberspace. Their AI with sophisticated algorithms, superior predictive intelligence, is trained to detect malware, run pattern recognition, and detect even the minutest of behaviors of ransomware way before it enters the system, thereby revolutionizing cybersecurity. Now, coming back to our opposition's vacuous arguments, the second speaker said that definitely AI will go to the wrong side. Let me simply put you this. On one side of the aisle, we have actual experts who studied artificial intelligence for decades. They put their minds to understand how AI works. And on the other side, we have our esteemed opposition who studied artificial intelligence for the past 48 hours. Let me tell you what the experts have to say. They say our civilization will flourish as long as we win the race between the growing power of technology and the wisdom which we manage it. The best way to do it is not to impede the former, that is the progress of artificial intelligence, no, but to accelerate the latter, that is by accelerating AI safety research. Furthermore, the leader of the opposition spoke about rich and disparities. They should not understand that Africa, being one of the poorest continents, is actually spearheading the development of artificial intelligence. Multinational corporations ranging from Google to Microsoft have invested billions in developing artificial intelligence in this poor continent, thereby elevating their lifestyles further. Furthermore, moving on to cybersecurity, as I already mentioned, AI has innate ability to detect malware. It has ability to learn on its own and keep away malware which would otherwise have already crippled systems. Recent surveys conducted which included over 850 plus cybersecurity executives, including those from Silicon Valley, clearly states that AI is essential for the cybersecurity organizations. More than 70% of them pointed out that without AI, all existing systems would already have crippled. I just like to end by a single quote from Mustafa Season, who's head of AI development at Google, who says, with foresight and planning, the technological revolution that AI brings will be a force to empower a fairer and prosperous society. Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Akil, the third speaker from the proposing team, who spoke about why we need AI, the development of AI, and it's becoming very intense. And once again, we'd like to hear from the opposition team, the third speaker of the opposition team, Mr. Jerome Clifton. Can you see us and hear us? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Yes, and we can hear you and see you as well. So you can start once the screen turns green. All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll start off with a quote from Sam Harris, who's an intellectual spokesperson on concerns regarding artificial intelligence. Just think, I quote, just think about how we relate to ants. We don't go out on our way to harm them. In fact, sometimes we take our pains not to harm them. We step over them on the sidewalk. But whenever their presence seriously conflicts with one of our goals, we annihilate them without a qualm. The concern is that we will one day build machines that could treat us with similar disregard. Here to paraphrase, Sam tries to express the concern that AI might possibly overtake humans. This seems a quote straight out of a science fiction novel, just like the movie Terminator. But unfortunately, the concerns are not shared on as conspiracies, but wide documentations among reliable science circles. The father of modern economic game theory, John von Neumann, first stated the term called technological singularity. This is defined as a hypothetical point in time at which technology growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, resulting in an unforeseeable change to the human civilization. Would this be a positive one? Most experts don't think so. So the dystopian future is here and near. That's what most speakers tell. Even though this is theoretical, this possesses a serious concern among many other scientists in the field as well, such as Stephen Hawking, Max Tegmark, and Ray Kurzweil, and many more other scientists. So the computation power doubles every 2 years. It's called the Moore's law, and it's a clear indication that there would be exponential growth in AI as well. And this, most experts doesn't agree that it would be a positive in the long run. So what did the greatest mind do to counteract this issue? They held a conference in 2017. Almost 140 AI experts and related experts. They wrote the Asiloma AI principles, which are 23 guidelines of research and development of artificial intelligence. What does this say us? It's a perfect example of how even the creators of possible AI acknowledge the dangers of it. But history repeats itself. Regardless of regulations, regardless of laws, precautions, the most advanced technology do always fall in the hands of the powerful few, and commonly occurred since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. And this is the time there is no turning back, because AI, once it falls into the dangerous hands, there's no turning back because of the singularity. So does this sound like an enhancement? No, more like a scenario from an Orwellian movie. Now let's ponder upon some real statistics. Okay, since the Industrial Revolution, we have increased in population, we have increased in economics, we have increased in wealth, in well-being, in communication, education, as we enter the 21st century. But like the proposition team stated, yes, we do have some advantages. We do have them. But the proposition leader told they help enhance. But in reality, it's not helping enhance. Those are like sugar-coated words, sugar-coated things that are directed by biggest companies. The second proposition told, after a hectic day, after a hectic day, you can come home and look at the Google Maps. But in reality, half of the world population doesn't have an internet. How do they come home and look at the map? And the second one, here the advantages should not be confused with enhancements. These benefits are mere sugar coatings which distract us from the approaching apocalypse of the singularity and the superintelligence. But let me ask, do we have any significant net enhancement specifically because of AI? Since it was first introduced 70 years ago? No. Did we have better overall healthcare? No. Better overall poverty reduction? No. Better economic equality? None. Almost half of the population has no access to the internet. There are still kids dying out of starvation. We have automated cars, but we still have no roads even for half of the world population. By 2030, it's suspected that 830 million people will be malnourished. The proposition has chosen information only from a narrow spectrum of positives, each field ignoring these huge scale consequences which could be extremely devastating. Thus, conclusively, regardless of benefits, the path towards a more darker future is going to be caused by AI. And we as humans are going to be rendered obsolete because we will be overridden by their goals. This is not an enhancement in any terms possible. Thank you.
Yes, that was the third speaker. So basically, AI is the simulation of human intelligence processed by machines. And we heard all throughout the debates various quotes by famous people and about certain things which increases the living conditions of humankind, and certain movie conspiracies from the Terminator about how machines will take over humans and stuff like that. So now I would like to invite the fourth speaker of the proposing team to give your speech. Can you see and hear us?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, we can hear you, Madhi. So you can start when you can see the screen, right? So you can start as soon as it turns green, okay?
The chief economist at the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, Chad Stone, testified 4 essential points when it comes to economic growth. And the very first point states that economic growth matters both for physical stabilization and for raising living standards. And to put this in more simpler terms for my opponents to understand, who has been doing research in science fiction most of the time, that better economy leads to better living condition. And has the development of AI helped improve the economy? Yes, it has. One of my opponents told that the development of AI has no net effect on the economy. Well, thank you for asking. Here are my points. A project undertaken by the PricewaterhouseCoopers estimated that artificial intelligence technologies could increase global GDP by $15.7 trillion, a full 14% by 2030. Furthermore, a McKinsey Global Institute study of China found that AI-led automation can give the Chinese economy a productivity injection that would add 0.8 to 1.4 percentage points to GDP growth. Is this not enough net effect for you? No worries, I'll keep going. Another key element that enhances living conditions are lower costs of goods and services. Obviously, cheap goods and services will be good for your living conditions, right? So this was brought about by the development of artificial intelligence too. This has been depicted in a global AI survey, which states that the supply chain management industry saw the most considerable cost decrease, 44% from implementing AI technology in 2019. This can be further supported by a report by the PwC that states that 54% of executives say that implementing AI in their workplace has increased productivity, decreased cost of production, decreased cost of goods and services, and enhanced existing living conditions. One of my opponents was telling that if you put AI in education, you will fill students with data and all. Well, education applications with AI are highly personalized and entertaining for children rather than being didactic. Consequently, children can learn with their own paces while enjoying. Let me give you another improvement AI has brought to education. Artificial intelligence can help children with special needs to reach their real potential by individualized training and focusing more on areas which they specifically need to improve. How can you tell that it is not enhancing living conditions? As you can see, AI is already putting great developments in the education field. My opponents I do not know why have they been bringing statements from Ultron movies or from Terminator movies. They've been doing so many science fiction. We're in a debate. Bring facts from scientific articles, not science fiction. According to several experts on the field of artificial intelligence, it has been stated that the misconception you opponents have risen not due to the potential of AI, but rather a profound misunderstanding of the technology itself. Yan Liu Chen, the chief artificial intelligence scientist at Facebook Artificial Intelligence Research, states that the current machine can learn the most basic things like humans. But in terms of general intelligence, machines are worse than rats. And such risks will not occur in immediate or medium term. And if it does occur in far future, it will not be the dangers depicted in your Terminator movies. So let me do you a favor. You can get rid of these nightmares, because artificial intelligence will only help enhance your life and the life of all those around you. My opponent, he came from education. He was talking about Alexa speaking around in the night. My dear opponent, if there's a problem with your Alexa, there are places where you can go and repair it. There are ways you can avoid such problems. Why do you keep on telling all the fault lies on artificial intelligence if you do not take the effort to reduce those problems? Problems come if you do not put the effort. Like my second speaker has already told, artificial intelligence cannot go beyond what the user does. So if you have control over it, the whole problems rise. My opponents, you came in telling that we cannot leave the fate of humankind in artificial intelligence. Who told you to leave the fate of humankind in artificial intelligence? We are here to tell that artificial intelligence enhances your living conditions. It makes your life more comfortable. And this is a fact we have proven and you have failed to disprove. Ladies and gentlemen, when we speak of the health of humanity, artificial intelligence has helped in overcoming pandemics. When we speak of the education of humanity, AI has improved the learning environment. Let's talk about security. AI has helped prevent human trafficking. Let's talk about the environment. AI has helped control climate change. The economy, AI has increased GDP of several nations. Therefore, it is crystal clear that the development of artificial intelligence will help enhance existing living conditions of all of humanity. Over to you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was the fourth speaker of the proposing team, Mr. Madhi Siraj, and thank you for that very heated speech. So they spoke about the proposing team spoke about how AI could not, as long as humans have control over AI, it won't be an issue. But the opposing team claims that it will be an issue. So the initial debate is over, and now it's time for the rebuttal speeches of the captains. And first of all, I'd like to invite the captain of the opposing team, Ms. Safia, for her rebuttal speech. Can you?
Excuse me, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but
I guess you missed the fourth speaker from opposition's team.
oh, sorry.
Sorry, you missed the first one, fourth one of the opposition. Please give the chance to him.
Yes. Sorry. The fourth speaker of the opposition team, Ms. Netra Silva. Sorry.
Can you hear me properly and can you see me properly?
We can see you and we can hear you. Yes. You can start when the screen turns green.
A very good evening to all of you. The development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of human race, says Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest scientists. So let's move to the consequence of artificial intelligence. Automated weapons. One of the widely discussed topics. Automated weapons are self-operating weapons which can take decisions individually without human intervention. So let me tell you, targeting and face recognition drones, not only that, but also there are lots of things, automated jets, automated bombing trucks, and also automated bombs. You might say it's just a simple thing. Of course not. It's not, it has happened even in the Syrian and Libyan wars, even though the artificial intelligence was not that much developed, the problem was there, which means they use the technology. So let me tell you,
one of the greatest professors from New York, Professor Geldy, says the lethal autonomy, which is feature sets are analyzed and they can be arranged into any sort of weapon in the world, which could be the most dangerous thing in near future, which always happening also. And also, it will not help enhance the human race. And also, I'll go to some arguments, just talk about the oppositions. So when it comes to you talked about environmental friendly, really? So let me tell you, when it comes to artificial intelligence, so most probably the jobs will be replaced by artificial intelligent robots. Yeah, most probably. Yeah, so what will happen there? They can work 24 hours, 365 days, even without taking any rest. So what will happen is a very simple thing to consider. So let me tell you, what's happening there is environmental pollution will be increased. Lots of gases and chemicals will be released to the environment. Such a simple thing to understand. And also in that case, climate change will also be taken place in near future. It's also happening here within this little artificial intelligent agents. In near future, it will be a lot more. It will enhance the problem more and more. The human will not help with it. And then you talked about that Apple Watch and those things. Really, all of us can buy Apple Watch. You're just talking about the people who are super rich, people who are rich and people who are powerful. Of course, they will be benefiting from artificial intelligence because they are the ones who create us. But what about the people who are poor and living in normal living condition? Specifically, a country like Asia, a country like Sri Lanka, in Asian countries, lots more people are typical people, not super rich or super powerful. And also, you talked about education. Let me give you the statistics. And let me give you some examples also. So education, when it comes to, do you know, Germany, one of the developed countries, it has banned the educational dolls. You know why? Because they have found that spying and data hacking in that. So that is the reason. This is not stated in somewhere else. So it's stated in European Union articles. So you can check it out. And then when it comes to, you also talked about the China. China is a developed country. China is, of course, a developed country. You cannot say that as far as China, we can do the same thing. The people in the world are a lot more poor. You're just talking about people who are benefiting from it, much richer. And also, you talked about healthcare. So I'll be telling one thing also when it comes to that. So the Peter Haas, one of the motivational speakers, and he has said that there was a research, most of the parts being omitted when artificial intelligence algorithms are inserted into artificial intelligent robots. So in that one, most of the things have been missed. Just think this is happening to healthcare sector robot. You think that's okay in surgery? No, it's not. And also most probably biased things, genderly biased, maybe the ethnically biased problems will be coming because those are inserted by people, human. And also, finally, I would say future bubble. Future bubble is one of the things that widely discussed. Our previous social media behaviors being analyzed and those are being detected by artificial intelligence. Then what happens? It serves more and more things regarding that. Also, for an example, if you're a person who is watching fighting videos, and by the time you will be getting criminal videos also, then by the time it's proven that echo chambers online been already been established, and now it's been banned in some countries to prevent the condition because of deep fakes. Deep fakes, I think one of my colleagues just elaborated it, so I'm not going to elaborate it. So in that case, what I'm saying is, finally, artificial intelligence will not help enhance the existing living condition of humankind. Thank you.
My sincerest apologies for my previous mistake. I missed out on the fourth speaker of the opposing team. And that was Ms. Netra Silva from the opposing team, the fourth speaker. That was, as we can all see, there were various quotes from many famous people, many statistics, and it was a very tight and heated debate. And that concludes the initial phase of the debate. And now we are going to move on to the rebuttal speeches of the captains. And first of all, I'd like to invite the captain of the opposing team, Miss Safia, to deliver her rebuttal speech. Can you see the screen, Miss Safia?
Yes, I can.
But you are not visible. Yes, okay. Okay, so you can start when the screen turns green, and you will have 5 minutes to represent your rebuttal speech. Thank you.
You are only thinking about few positive things and has totally ignored the major negative effects which is arising and moving ahead to destroy the world. All the facts you all put forward can also be done without artificial intelligence. Improvement in healthcare, financial sector, and also traveling, education. All these things can also be done effectively with proper management and with proper wealth distribution without AI. But the threats and risks which has and will arise is only because of artificial intelligence. You must understand that thing very clearly, and no one can replace it or restore it. Even the positive things you all mentioned can be achieved by using machines, but without AI. Take that point. And also I want to say that in the opposition team, they said that the AI has given a number of data available for the healthcare system to work effectively. But where do these data come from? The privacy is being affected in this case, and to train AI systems, they require large amounts of data, but data are typically fragmented across many different systems. This fragmentation increases the risk of error and decreases the comprehensiveness of data sets and increases the expense of gathering data. So due to this, AIs won't get enough amount of data to work properly. And if any mistakes occur in AI, it could be a major problem, because there are risks like that. If human make a mistake, it will only affect only a very small group of people. But in case if the AI system is affected, it is going to affect a large amount of people at a time. And take that point. And also I would like to say that yours spoke about taking care of elders. Now AI is helping to taking care of elders, but take this point: human interaction is very important. We don't want human and artificial intelligence interaction. We need human interaction to be satisfied and to be happy and to be relaxed. And also you are talking only about a specific group of people who are taking advantage of this, a specific group of companies who are taking advantages of this. All of us getting advantage of this? Is the financial sector is developed in all the countries, and all the poorer people are becoming poorer still, but the richest are becoming richer still. And remember that. And also you were talking that and also I would like to say for that point, undernourishing is going to be affecting 830 million people by 2030 because of this, because of the Siri technology. And also you were talking about education. Of course, now everyone can be educated by AI, but it just only feeds data into human minds, and the knowledge does not come from experiences. And also think that whether the AI is giving the needed and required information and education for children. No, not really. They are feeding everything, and everything is available in the AI, and now the cultural and social problems are arising due to it. And you also mentioned that Alexa is putting hot water for us. Now AI has determined, and they are deciding what should be done for us, and they are deciding what is our need. That should not happen. And also I would like to say a little boy asked his Alexa to play his favorite song, but then the little boy said, "Alexa, play Tickle Tickle," and Alexa responded with the title of porn involving diodes. Then think of this: the children are been pushed into wrong ways. And also, yes, of course, the AI will put on hot water and prepare our meals, but don't you understand, they are taking our privacy, and our privacy is affected. If AI knows what we need at what time, then they are tracking us. And also, global warming is higher now compared to the industrial revolution. The AI has increased the global warming. And also, you all said that you can find out malware, but the AI can find out malware, but where did this malware come from? And also, I would like to say, the fourth speaker, you wrongly interpreted the usage of names of the movies which we mentioned. And finally, and definitely, I say even though you are mentioning a little amount of positive things, the future is going to be affected by the devastating and very devastating effects, and this artificial intelligence will not enhance our humankind. Thank you.
Yes, that was Miss Safia Mohammed, the captain of the opposing team. That was a very brilliant speech. And that was the last of the opposing, we heard from the opposing teams. And the final speech for the day will be by the proposition captain, Mr. Kavinjit Piris. And this will be his rebuttal and final speech. Let's see what he has to say. Mr. Kavinjit, can you?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you see the screen? It's blue now.
Clear.
Yes, okay. So you can start as soon as it turns green, and you have 5 minutes to present your arguments.
My dear opposition, my dear misguided opposition, you constantly keep raising the question of privacy. Let me ask this simple question prior to going on talking in detail about my rebuttal. Have you ever heard of the terms and conditions that comes up upon opening an app? I believe you have not, because it seems like you haven't really heard about parental guidance, how the restrictions can be made, how you are allowing the such permissions. Seems to be you haven't read it, so better check it out on yourself as well, because that might be definitely useful. So with that being said, let me point out to the base argument of our dear opposition. First speaker went on talking about the privacy, and as I said in the beginning, the terms and conditions, that is why those things are in place to control the privacy of those who are in need. And there are either regulatory bodies such as new regulatory modules have been established under United Nations for Inter-Regional Crime and Justice Research Institute for AI and Robotics. These are the institutions that are in place to protect the privacy of the people against AI. So that doesn't seem to ring a bell in my opposition prior to pointing their arguments. And also the opposition leader built their base on talking about deepfakes. Let me talk about deepfakes. Facebook company has already done doing research, and they have developed artificial intelligence modules that are capable of identifying deepfakes and reverse engineering and tracking it back to the origin itself. So what is the argument? It is the solution itself for deepfakes. So how can that be the problem? Those are the base arguments that my dear opposition have. Rather than pointing out few examples, there wasn't a solid base in the argument. So let me move on to the second speaker. The second speaker talk about human interaction. My dear opposition, from the beginning itself, what we have been pointing out is the purpose of artificial intelligence is to ease out the task for the human beings. What does having leisure time, what does having the ease of doing the task mean? That means that you have more time, you have more of leisure time to spend with your loved one, to create the human bonds, and to add that value to your life, saving the time that are spent on trivial things. And the second speaker also talked about failures in healthcare, which I initially pointed out the benefits of healthcare. Let me present you some statistics, because my opposition seemed to lack the ability to read the research and to point out the statistics. An analysis done by the Medical News Today platform on AI just as good as diagnosing illness as humans. Let me present the statistics. Analysis in a medical article found that AI can correctly diagnose 87% of cases, whereas detention of healthcare professionals yield at 86%, is 1% higher in what? The artificial intelligence. The specificity for deep learning algorithms was 93% compared to humans, which is 91%. So that in case as well, healthcare has been improved, not reduced, my dear second speaker. Next, I'll be moving on to the third speaker. She talked about the statement, and the third speaker talked to, and a couple of your speakers talk about Stephen Hawking. Let me bring on the root. Why misguide the audience mentioning just a part of the definition, but the part of the statement that say the entire statement he made? What Stephen Hawking said was, he said that it will be either the best thing that ever happened to us, or it will be the worst thing if we are not careful. It very well may be the last thing. So my dear opposition, we are speaking on a platform where decisions are taken carefully, elaborately, and more accurately. So the Stephen Hawking statement itself is on our side. And my dear opposition from the third, first, and the second speaker, please come to our side and speak with us, because those are the actual facts rather than misleading the audience with false accusations. And moving on to the second point that was brought about by the second speaker. She was talking about the social disparity. Let me ask you this question. How can social disparity be related, even related to artificial intelligence? Social disparity hasn't existed since the early ages, and it has been there since that time. How can it be creating the source? Can it be the source of disparity? Artificial is not intelligence, is not the source of disparity. It is just a factor that is outside the topic, that you are clearly going somewhere other than clearly where the topic lies. And the fourth speaker once again brought about on Stephen Hawking's statement and talked about autonomous weapons. Let me talk about autonomous weapons. There are organizations such as ICRC and NATO who are overseen to prevent the development of such weapons. So as we mentioned throughout this debate, these AI tools are used to defend, not rather than to attack. So these things are clearly monitored, clearly guided, and so there is absolutely no chance of going beyond the human intelligence. And the most interesting point the last speaker about was the employment. Let me talk about employment on the three main sectors: the employment in skilled labor, unemployment in private sector, and how the employment is generally affected. According to the Economic Policy Institute, there has been a 6% increase in economic related jobs. Furthermore, according to the WEF final report predicted that AI will create 50 million net new jobs in 2022. So my dear opposition has tried to build a huge building without a proper base, and we have successfully created and splashed that building down to the ground, and the arguments are stable, and the proposition argument is once again being proved on this platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kavinjit Perez, and that was the proposition captain, and that was the last of our speeches. And now, and we can all agree that it was a very tight and heated debate. There were many quotes, many famous people involved, and even movies. So now we have to have the judge's decision. And for that, can I ask the coordinator, the Zoom coordinator, to put the judges in a breakout room so they can come to a unanimous decision regarding the winner? Yes. And I'm going to take the opportunity to thank everyone in the audience for not going crazy on the comment section. So that was highly appreciated with the Zoom technical issues. Since the judges are just making their decision, I'd like to casually have a talk with the members of the audience as well as the debaters. First of all, I'd like to speak with the proposition captain, Mr. Kavinjit Perez. Since we are talking about AI, and this is a very modernized topic, and it's relevant to today because of the COVID situation and the involvement of modern technology. What do you think about the debate? Did everything go as you planned, or were there any things?
Yeah, pretty much we expected all the arguments that brought about, like we had the counters for each and every point that brought about. So in case of the debate, I think like the arguments and everything aside, it was really pleasurable to have the debate, like to meet the SHS people. Like I haven't previously encountered them, so it was indeed a pleasure to work with you guys and to have the debate.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Kavinjit Pires. It was lovely to hear your opinions. Now, I'd like to speak with the opposition captain, Ms. Safia. So, AI. I think we all heard in the debate, throughout the debate, we spoke about Google Maps and Alexa and Apple Watches and all these fancy modern technology stuff, right? So do you actually believe that AI will help enhance the existing living conditions, or do you think that this topic was more biased towards the proposition side?
No, not really. It's like this. Even before the topic was assigned for us, I have a thought that AI is not going to enhance the humankind. And I have a thought like this, these AI techniques and all these things, somewhat they are going to bring more and more problems to us. And I don't think they are going to really enhance. It is my personal view also, not only for debating. And that's all I want to say.
Yes, thank you. That was Miss Safia. And also we have a very special guest in the audience. We have with us joining to watch the debate from the academic staff. We have Professor Anuradhini Kasturiratna and Professor Deepthi Silva, and also Dr. Dinusha Bakmirava. And I'd like to hear from one of them as well. Dr. Professor Anuradhini, are you with us? Can you speak a few words with us? And
thank you, Priyanjala. I think I'm really delighted about the performance of our two teams. Actually, it was a very, very balanced debate. And I would like to congratulate all the speakers of both teams. And it was a real pleasure to be here and listen to the speeches today. So I hope that you will go from strength to strength, both teams, even if, only one side will win this debate, but that will not have any impact on your future progress. And we hope that you will do really, really well. And, that you will improve your skills and be, optimize your skills and make us all proud. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation and your commitment to your topics. Thank you.
yes, that was Professor Anuradhini Kasturiratna. And speaking of winners, I would just like to mention to the members of the audience that both the speech and hearing science students and the batch 30-second students, they were both qualified winners from the initial round. And whoever wins, whoever loses, we are all winners here. We all did our best, and that was the main goal of this, right? Okay, so and now is Professor Deepthi De Silva with us. So can we also hear from you, madam?
Hello.
Can you give us your opinion about the debate and what you think of it, how the students have performed?
Yes, I listened to the debate and I was really, like Prof. Anuradhini said, I think I'm really impressed by the high quality of the debate. I was very impressed also by the fact that both teams have done a lot of research. And I think that is important because all debates, all discussions we have to be fact-based. And I think I was very impressed about the fact that you put a lot of effort into getting your facts together. The second thing I was very impressed by was the fact that I think you listened to the advice of the judges from the earlier round, and you took into your current debate a lot of what they have advised, the people who have listened to you in the first round, and you have incorporated their advice into this, and you have started thinking very constructively about how to rebut arguments. So again, I'm very impressed that you have learned while on the job. And that is good news for us, trying to teach you for the future. Okay, so I think I can just say that I was also very impressed by the quality of the lectures, that of the discussions you had, the debate that you had, and the effort you put in. Thank you so much. And just personally, it's lovely to see you guys your faces, because when we teach you, we don't see you. So it's lovely to see you guys now, and I hope we'll be able to meet in person and congratulate you all personally. Well done.
So that was a very lovely and positive feedback we heard from Professor Deepthi, and she's a renowned physiology lecturer at our faculty, and that was really good to and it was great to hear her say things like that. And Dr. Dinusha, are you with us? Can you also say a few words regarding the debate and what you think of it?
Hi, I don't think I have much to say. Prof. Deepthi and Prof. Anuradhani has already said a lot of what I was thinking. So it was really, for me, it was really nice to see the SHS students engage in this with the medical students. For me, really the debate was obviously a very informed talk. And for me, it was really about more than just when students always engage in something more than just academics. It's always nice to see them perform this. So for the staff on behalf of the SHS staff, I want to congratulate both teams. It was lovely to listen to all of y'all, and we wish y'all all the very best.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Dinusha. It was very lovely to hear you as well. And we also have Dr. Subun with us today. We have a lot of guests from the academic staff, and we can't, we have to listen to everyone. So we'd also like to hear from you as well. Dr. Subun, are you with us?
Yes, and I would like to admit that I really enjoyed the both teams debating each other, and like Deepthi madam said, they were with facts. They were just not just arguing, they were with facts. So I congratulate both teams and I wish them all the very best.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Supun. So let's move back to the debaters. AI, during the debate, we spoke about mainly the global system, right? So from the second speaker of the proposition team, Nilushi, I'd like to hear about your say in if we take all these high-tech developments in the AI and implement in our country. Do you think that would work out? Will it have a positive impact? I'd like to hear your opinion regarding that.
Definitely, as I think AI technologies really do enhance the lifestyle of the people when it comes to so many kind of sectors. So therefore, even though at the moment, maybe Sri Lanka is not so, could not efficiently use the AI technology at the moment based on the economy or whatever, but at some time when we properly, when we are able to use AI technologies properly, that would actually have a really good impact on all the sectors, as it uses a lot of analytics, and therefore they would come out with the best solutions and functions to serve the entire community.
Excuse me, Priyanjala, I think the judges are ready. Maybe you might need to pin them, or the coordinator might need to pin their screens.
Yes, now we'd like to move on to the judges' opinions and their judgments, and I'm going to ask the moderator, the coordinator to
And Dr. Chaminda is not here yet, I think. While we get Dr. Chaminda, Ms. Chinthani, you want to start, please?
If it's okay, I can start, or else I can wait for him.
I don't know if he's having some issue.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Right, okay, cool.
He's
right.
there.
Okay, great.
May I start? Is it okay right now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good evening to all of you. I'm really happy to take a part of this, actually, at the initial stage of this kind of debate. Thank you very much for all debaters who brought their argument. At the same time, I would like to extend my gratitude to the coordinators, so-called organizers, to select a very important theme for this debate. Why I'm saying that this debate is timely important, and this theme is very important and timely important, as well as this is not a new topic to be discussed. I think when we think about the 17th and 18th century, I think social scientists quite familiar with this type of argument. The world, so-called world influential philosopher, right? I think you have heard the name called Jean-Jacques Rousseau, French philosopher. Actually, he was just a person prior to the 18th century, I mean, mid of the 18th century. How he became the philosopher of the Enlightenment, because of the way he argued about this kind of topic. There was some debate in France about the development of the technology and industrialization, and he argued that this technological advancement and industrialization will collapse the human value and development. That was his argument. Today, again, we brought that kind of argument to discuss about the humanity and development, etc. Right? We are talking about the artificial intelligence and technology, IT development, and etc. Now, again and again, we are discussing about our own endeavors, how it should be utilized for the sake of development of the human civilization. But I'm really happy the way the people, our students, try to, understand the gravity of the theme. Then some of them have done very well, but unfortunately, a few of debaters technically they didn't take the technical part of the debate, because one or two people try to, they wanted to, actually the main idea was to deny the argument, but indirectly they accept the argument. That was the reason. Anyhow, I think we got very interesting and very important insight from this discussion, this debate, because I'm really impressed with the few debaters who they tried their best to bring their team to the winners. Then I saw that actually I experienced this in the previous debate as well. Then I would like to congratulate all the members, even proposition and opposition. Then I think let's see, the one group will definitely get the opportunity for the final. Then we wish all the best to the other group, because we will have the best loser as well, right? Then that kind of debate also will be going on. Then thank you very much again, and wait, we can see the result from the rest of the speakers. Thank you very much, and I wish all the best to all the students of our two teams. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Charminder Abesinger, for that lovely feedback. It was so nice to hear what we went wrong and how we can improve ourselves. And now I'd like to hear from the rest of the judges as well.
Good evening. So as myself a little bit connected to AI, and I happen to have some sort of experience in my final year because we did an AI related project. So basically, if we talk about the debate today, the topic itself asks you whether AI in future, because it states will help enhance the existing living conditions of humankind. So we are talking about a future, and of course, we cannot make predictions without proper data, right? So you have to Google a lot, or maybe read a lot and find all the information that you can find. And whether enhancing or not means you need to focus more on what is the existing living condition, right? So in a debate like this, because basically more towards this kind of a debate is more towards the facts, because whether will it help or not depends on how it has been working throughout the past years, right? We are trying to come up to a conclusion depending on the things that we have seen and experienced in our past. So in that case, whether you have brought enough points to the debate, whether you have searched a lot, whether you have improved your knowledge on this topic, could have helped a lot in the decision, in the final judgment. And of course, in a debate like this, when you present your points, you always need to explain to the judges how it can help enhance the existing living conditions, or how it has helped in enhancing the existing living conditions. Not just say that AI is good and it's going to do so many good things to us, right? What exactly is it going to do? And if, of course, if you are going to say, no, AI is not going to help us, why is that? So you can look into the past and see the situations or the incidents where AI has failed and the damage it has already done. So then, of course, you can come up to a comparison, like compared to the good or the compared to the improvements it has brought, maybe in percentages, maybe in the accuracy levels, how much that damage has cost us in our past. Likewise, if you could have brought out so many better points, in my opinion. And of course, in a debate, when you bring a point, when the opposition or the opposing team to you brings a point, maybe the second speaker brings a point, then of course the third speaker, at least the fourth speaker, by the fourth speaker, then it should be rebutted. You cannot wait until the captain to rebut all the points, right? You have your own responsibility to grab the point and rebut it then and there. So the definition is important, the basic argument is important, and apart from all the debate stuff, now we are doing this on a Zoom platform, right? It's not like you speak to another person like face to face. So in that case, you have to have in your mind, okay, there's a bit of a latency working. So if I speak too fast, then the person who is listening would not be able to grab what I'm saying, right? So if I speak too loud, then there'll be a noise coming out. So likewise, whether you need to speak fast or you need to show your aggressiveness, or all that can be considered, right? You can show your aggressiveness, you can emphasize on your points, you can be loud, and you can be loud, but there should be limits within, right? So when you're practicing with your friends, of course, do the practices and ask them, am I audible enough? Am I clear enough? So can you grab all the words I say? Am I pronouncing the words correctly so that the other person can understand what I'm saying? So if we can put more focus on those areas, I think the winning team would have greater advantage in the finals. Okay, I wish all the best for both the teams and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chintani Kumaradasa, and your words really inspired us. Being a graduate from University of Morato, I'm pretty sure you have a lot of experience and knowledge regarding AI. And last, I'd like to call upon Dr. Pramodi Prevasili to give the final judgment and to tell us what she thinks.
Hello everyone, I won't be taking much time because I know all of you must be waiting for the final judgment. But then, have you heard of this 17th Conference of Artificial Intelligence? It happened in 2019 in Poland. And they were talking about how AI would impact on the field of medicine. And they talked about LINA, the lymph node assistance system, where the AI could do histopathological examinations and how it can help the doctors to increase their accuracy, and also about robotic surgery. So as the other judges told, this debate is based on facts. So I would have preferred personally if you could have done some more research to different fields as to how AI has been used and how it is being useful at the current situation in different expertise, in food, in culinary, in hospitality, and also in medicine, engineering. Everywhere AI is being used, and all those information could have been gathered because you guys are going to be future doctors, so could have done some more research. And the next thing about the speakers, I was noticing that when you come to the written speech, the captain's written speech, we can't bring new facts. Even if you bring a new fact and even if you present new information and new data, new statistics, sadly, the judges can't take those into consideration and give marks because it's been said that in the captain's written speech, it's about summarizing. So I saw that mistake here. So even if you win or lose for your future debates, remember that in a captain's written speech, don't try to bring new statistics because even though how good those information are, it won't carry marks in judge sheets. And other than that, I think you both teams did a good job. So keep your talents up for your future. All the best as future doctors. So finally, the judgment, it's a split decision. So it actually shows how the tough the debate was. It was. And the winning team is the proposition team. So congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Pramodi Premasiri, for the final decision. As you all know, this was the semi-finals, and the winner of today's debate will be going through to the final round, and that will be batch 32nd, the proposing team for the debate today. And that was a very heated and very exciting debate that we witnessed today. We heard a lot of quotes, we heard so many people, and I can say for sure that, you know, everyone is a winner here, because at the end of the day, we'll be learning something, and that's what matters the most. On behalf of Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our beloved judges for joining with us today and giving their opinions and their words of wisdom. But I urge you all not to leave just yet, because we have another exciting debate coming up. It's batch 30th versus batch 29, the upcoming debate, and it will be moderated by Dion, and he will take over. This is the first debate of the semi-finals.
Thank you, Priyanjala.